Exclusive contract with Feilu Novel Network Novel. Yunchao. Received 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards at the beginning. Zhao Xuan traveled through the fantasy world and became an emperor of a dynasty. However, as an emperor, he is not as glamorous as he appears on the surface, but in reality, he is a puppet. Not only is power sidelined, but one also faces the danger of swallowing a dragon by a phoenix. Fortunately, at this moment, Zhao Xuan awakened the Heavenly Emperor system. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards. With 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards, clean up the court, eliminate chaos, and sweep across the world's immortal gates. Under the sky, there is no royal land, and no royal officials leading the land. All immortal sects are illegal organizations. Congratulations to the host for obtaining, casting the Heavenly Court. Opening up the era of fortune, gathering national fortune, gathering local fortune, gathering heavenly fortune, gathering the energy of the world, forging the supreme heaven, opening up the heavens and earth, eternal immortality, long live, long live. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Zhenshi Nine Cauldrons, the 12 golden men of the Great Qin Dynasty, the eternal heavenly boat, and the Lingxiao Heavenly Court. Thus, Zhao Xuan became the emperor of all the heavens, unifying the 9 heavens and 10 lands, enfeoffuring the gods and immortals, and achieving eternal life. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Crossing the Mysterious Fantasy, Opening the Emperor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Great Qin Dynasty. In the magnificent imperial palace, carved with dragons and phoenixes. Where is this? How could I be here? On the bed, a 17-year-old boy wearing an embroidered dragon yellow robe opened his eyes, full of confusion. Immediately, a stream of memory information surged out of the mind. For a long time. Memory digestion in the mind, Zhao Xuan understood what was going on. He was reborn through time travel. The world he is currently in is called the Xian Huang world. It is a fantasy world where strength is supreme, and the strong can fly to heaven and earth, pick stars and moon, burn the sky and boil the sea. And his identity is that of the Xianhuang Great World, one of the 7 great dynasties of Zhongzhou, and the emperor of the Qin Dynasty. However, as an emperor, he is not as imposing as he sounds. Actually, he is a puppet emperor. 3 years ago, there was a mysterious realm of immortals in the Qin territory. Emperor Qian, Zhao Xuan, personally led the strong to go and explore the secret realm. As a result, the secret realm is extremely eerie and terrifying. The Great Qin Dynasty suffered heavy casualties, and Emperor Qian Zhao Xuan fell directly. In this situation, a situation of dragons seizing the throne began within the Qin Dynasty. And his original identity was the 10th prince of the Qin Dynasty. Due to his rebirth through time travel, but without awakening his memory, Zhao Xuan has been confused and appears somewhat foolish for 18 years. However, in such a state, he ascended to the throne amidst the group of dragons vying for the throne, becoming the new emperor of the Great Qin Dynasty. It can be said that it is extremely magical. The reason is very simple. The state religion of the Qin Dynasty, the Taishan sect, selected Zhao Xuan and forcibly supported him to ascend to power. The reason for choosing to support him is also very simple. Zhao Xuan's confusion and innate foolishness make it easy to control. Thus, Zhao Xuan became a puppet emperor at the mercy of the Taishan sect. As soon as Zhao Xuan ascended the throne, the Taishan sect married the Taishan holy maiden, Dantai Ice, to Zhao Xuan and made her the empress of the Great Qin. This marked the beginning of the dual saints' reign, with the emperor and empress sharing the same destiny. Subsequently, within a short year, the Taishan sect infiltrated most of the Qin dynasty, with 60% of official positions held by disciples of the Taishan sect. In this situation, the disciples of the Taishan sect were simply arrogant and domineering in the Great Qin Dynasty, doing whatever they wanted. There are no 2 days, no 2 rulers in a country. The emperor is the head of a country, and no one can stand with him. The emperor's authority cannot be trampled upon. The dual saints are present at the court, and the emperor and empress share the same land. It's ridiculous. Zhao Xuan's face turned cold, with a murderous aura. In my memory, as soon as I ascended to power, the Taishan sect directly married and established a wife for him without asking for any opinions. At the same time, disregarding the court's principles, abolishing the ban on politics in the harem, and starting the dual saints in court. His actions are completely undisclosed. And the originally confused self can only be carried out by the Taishan sect. In the Great Qin Dynasty, although there were still loyal officials and generals who wanted to fight against the Taishan sect. But facing a foolish puppet emperor like Zhao Xuan, even if he has a strong heart, there is nowhere to use it. Not only that. Zhao Xuan also discovered through memory that his body has gradually deteriorated since he ascended the throne. You should know that when Zhao Xuan was the 10th prince of Deqian, even if he appeared foolish and unpopular, he was still a prince. Since childhood, there have been natural and earthly treasures that warm and nourish the body, with a perfect cultivation of the body. After ascending to the throne as emperor, he will be blessed with the dragon qi of the Great Qin kingdom. In this situation, even if one does not cultivate, they will still be nourished by dragon energy, and their cultivation will progress rapidly, but gradually decline. This is very abnormal. My health is definitely related to the Taishan sect. However, if the Taishan sect wants to kill me, they can definitely do it directly. Why bother with me? Is it because the Taishan sect is worried about killing me and being backfired by the qi luck of Deqian, so they secretly poison me? No, the Taishan sect has supported me to ascend to higher positions. How could such a good puppet want to kill me? This matter is definitely not simple. Zhao Xuan's expression was cold, and he guessed in his heart. During these 16 years, although he was confused, he remembered everything very clearly. At this moment, the fusion of memories made him feel like he was experiencing it again. For the Taishan sect, my heart is filled with hatred. In the case of the Kaihuang Immortal Secret Realm, the high-level combat power of the Qin Dynasty was damaged, and Emperor Qian fell. The dynasty is in a period of turmoil, with various forces participating in the crown prince's succession, while other dynasties are eyeing it and wreaking havoc on the border. As a major religion of the Great Qianlong period, the Taishan sect enjoys a 30% national fortune. In this situation, it's better not to support Deqian, but also to participate in the usurpation of the throne, pushing the foolish self into the limelight and acting as a puppet, plotting power and usurping the throne. In Zhao Xuan's memory, the founding emperor of Deqian and the ancestor of Taishan were still sworn brothers. It's simply sad and lamentable. The situation I am currently facing is completely surreal, threatening the emperor to order the lords. Moreover, in the current situation, my own emperor is at risk of endangering his life at any time. Thinking of this, Zhao Xuan's face became gloomy and somewhat unsightly. He pondered in his heart how to change the current situation and bring out chaos. But reality and reason tell him that this is simply impossible. This is a fantasy world, where strength is paramount. To change, one must have the strength. Absolute power. In the current Deqian dynasty, Zhao Xuan had no strength or influence of his own and wanted to change the current predicament. Undoubtedly, it is a foolish dream. Can't I just wait to die like this? Zhao Xuan sighed helplessly, feeling very unwilling. At this moment, suddenly, a cold electronic synthesizer echoed in his mind. Ding dong, the Heavenly Emperor system is activated. The new Emperor gift package has been distributed. Does the host claim it what? System. Upon hearing this voice, Zhao Xuan's whole body trembled, and a flame of hope ignited in his heart. As a novel enthusiast, how could he not know the meaning of this voice? This is a necessary cheat for the rise of travelers. Claim. He said eagerly. Chapter 2. New Emperor's Gift Package, Phoenix Swallows Dragon. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. New Emperor Gift Pack Open. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the authority of the Emperor. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Tianzi Wangqi technique. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the 9 transformations Tianren pill. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for having the opportunity to recruit strong players once. A series of system prompts sound up. Suddenly, golden and majestic auras filled Zhao Xuan's body, transforming into a real dragon covered in golden scales encircling around him. Emitting a majestic aura that suppresses everything in the world. The Emperor, who embodies the great achievements of the Heavenly Way, is the embodiment of the Heavenly Way. Grasping the power of heaven, speaking with a heavenly constitution, one thought brings birth and death, all laws are determined by one's heart, and the gods are conferred upon, surpassing all spirits and not being violated. And the majesty of the Emperor is the way of heaven, and the power emanating from the heavens is the power of heaven. Under heaven, all are royal lands, and within the 4 seas, all are royal ministers. In the Great Qin Dynasty, Zhao Xuan was the Heavenly One, gaining the authority of the Emperor and giving him an innate suppressive force against the subjects of the Great Qin Dynasty. Even if he is only in the physical realm of cultivation now, even if a king or sage is in front of him, his momentum will be suppressed and affected. Even if they were not subjects of the Qin Dynasty, they would be suppressed by their majestic power in front of him. They would be timid before a battle, and their power would be weakened by 3 points in vain. This Emperor's majesty is a complete nemesis to all spirits. The second type of reward, the Tianzi Wangqi technique, appeared in his mind like a sudden enlightenment. Let him instantly realize. The Heavenly Emperor looks at Qi, an exclusive skill of ancient emperors, and understands the changes in the 3 talents of heaven, earth, and man. Observing fortune, exploring blessings and misfortunes, debating loyalty and treachery, and understanding good and evil. For him, the effect can be described as very practical. Zhao Xuan's heart twitched slightly, his eyes shining brightly, with a golden light flowing around. Under the Tianzi Wangqi technique, Zhao Xuan clearly saw that his qi luck was very prosperous, with great blessings in the sky. This is very normal. He is the Emperor of the Great Qin Dynasty, blessed by national luck, and his own luck is bound to national luck. Zhao Xuan frowned as Chapter 3. Breaking Through Heaven and Man, 3000 Jinyi Immortal Guards. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The pill melts at the entrance, transforming into a pure and majestic medicinal power that permeates Zhao Xuan's limbs and bones. In an instant, Zhao Xuan began his first transformation. The body is crystal clear like glass, the blood is rolling like thunder, and there is a divine light shining in the blood. This is a manifestation of cultivating the physical realm to the extreme, perfect and flawless. Ordinary cultivators cannot achieve this step at all, it is a symbol of unparalleled pride. However, Zhao Xuan only achieved this step in the first turn of the 9 transformations Tianren Dan. Continue to use the 9 transformations Heavenly Man pill. Boom. Zhao Xuan's body was like a thunderous explosion, as if flipping the river and the sea. An unprecedented force appeared in his dantian. Magic. The physical body undergoes a qualitative transformation, breaking through the door of divine powers, entering the realm of divine powers, and forming magic within the body. Once reaching this level, it is equivalent to shedding the mortal body in being able to cultivate divine powers. Those who cross the void in the sky, wield swords to kill, and swallow water and fire are powerful in the realm of divine powers. It's not over yet. This is just the beginning. 1 level of divine power. Divine powers double. Triple divine powers. 9 levels of divine powers. 10 levels of divine powers. Great perfection of divine power. Just as he stepped into the realm of divine powers, Zhao Xuanqiu's performance continued to skyrocket. Directly upgrade from divine power to divine perfection. Next, it's the realm of heaven and humanity. Zhao Xian's eyes were shining brightly, and he felt his whole body full of strength. At this moment, the 9 transformations heavenly man pill in his body has only reached its 5th transformation. However, he had already clearly felt the effect brought by the 9 transformations heavenly man pill. Every transformation is a comprehensive improvement. Improvements are being made in terms of physical body, cultivation, talent, understanding, and divine soul, among others. Bang, bang, bang. The magic within Zhao Xian's body was like a river breaking through a bank, pouring down and producing a strange change. The whole person seems to be connected to the blue and dark above, and to the earth below, extremely mysterious. The realm of heaven and humanity. Once you reach this level, you will have a lifespan of thousands of years. Heaven and man are equal. The duality of heaven and man. Triple heaven and man. Heaven and man are 9-fold. Heaven and man are 10-fold. Heaven and man are perfect. Until this moment, Zhao Xian's cultivation was elevated to the level of great harmony between heaven and man, and the 9 transformations of heaven and man pills in his body were exhausted. Zhao Xian's eyes opened, his essence burst out, and a layer of radiance flowed on his body. The real dragon transformed by the emperor's majesty wrapped around him, making him look like an ancient emperor, divine and majestic, commanding all directions. At this moment, Zhao Xian felt like his condition had never been better. He clenched his fists with both hands, and a golden light burst forth. His fists exuded a strong aura, making him feel that one punch could shatter the sky. The cultivation in the realm of heaven and humanity can be considered a strong person anywhere. If you choose to join the army in the Qin Dynasty, you can directly become a general on your side. Because the realm of heaven and humanity can mobilize the power of heaven and earth for personal use, every move is a divine skill. A single person in battle is like a million-strong army attacking together. Turning 3,000 miles in one body, one person can become a million teachers, which describes the realm of heaven and humanity. The peak cultivation of heaven and humanity suppressed the resentment power of the golden dragon in my body. However, this strength is too weak against the Tai Xian sect. Zhao Xian muttered to himself, not satisfied with his own strength. The realm of heaven and humanity is indeed a strong one. But now he is facing the behemoth of the Tai Xian sect. In the Tai Xian sect, there are many elders, all of whom are in the realm of great power and the realm of kings. There are also saints sitting in the sect. As far as Zhao Xian knows, the ancestor of the Tai Xian sect is also an ancient saint. This is the true strength of the Tai Xian sect. Otherwise, in the midst of a group of dragons vying for the throne, how could the Tai Xian sect support Zhao Xian, who was confused and naturally foolish, to ascend to the throne as emperor? Next is the final reward of the beginner gift package, which is also the most crucial reward for Zhao Xian. Recruit the strong. You can recruit strong individuals from all over the world. This kind of recruitment is random, it could be one person, but it could also be a legion. Zhao Xian felt a bit nervous in his heart. If he could recruit a powerful warrior, he would be able to turn the current situation around and uproot the chaos. System, recruit. Ding. Recruiting in progress. Words rang out, and illusory figures appeared before Zhao Xian's eyes. Every lift of hands and feet emitted a terrifying aura. The constantly changing figures filled Zhao Xian's eyes with anticipation. Not long after, a light cluster appeared, with a figure on one side. Ding, congratulations to the host for recruiting 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards. A ball of light appeared before Zhao Xian's eyes. Within the light group, 3,000 figures were neatly arranged, dressed in flying fish costumes and carrying embroidered spring knives on their waists. Their expressions were cold and they exuded an extraordinary sense of solemnity. 3,000 brocade clothes immortal guards. From a certain immortal dynasty, their subordinate forces, where the embroidered spring blade points, have everything that cannot be cut, and no one cannot be killed, all of which are the strength of the great energy realm. The scene in front of us, as well as the introduction of the system about the 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards. Zhao Xuan trembled all over, with a look of ecstasy on his face. 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards. Where the blade points, nothing cannot be cut, and no one cannot be killed. Everyone has great power and strength. This is simply amazing. In the realm of great power, those with powerful abilities can now establish their own sect. Even in one sect, a great sect still exists at the level of elders. Now, Zhao Xuan has directly obtained 3,000 great powers. Moreover, these 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards have extraordinary strength and qualifications, and have room for independent growth. The flying fish suit and embroidered spring knife on the body are all divine weapons, and when fighting, they are invincible beings in the same realm. Once the 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards take action, not to mention kings or saints, even if they are ancient sages, they will probably drink hatred. That is to say, obtaining 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards gave Zhao Xuan the strength to directly compete with the Taishan sect. Ding dong, has the host extracted 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards at this point, the sound of the system rang out again. Upon hearing these words, Zhao Xuan's mind sank and he asked inwardly. Can the system continue to store or extract the 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards in batches, and let them hide their breath and appear silently? 3,000 great powers, if they appear at the same time, once the breath bursts out, it is truly earth-shattering. At that time, it will definitely make people feel sensitive, and other forces will fear him, making him a target of public criticism. Can be temporarily stored in the system space, extract a specified number of Jinyi Immortal Guards according to the host's intention, and hide their breath, appearing silently. Once extracted, it is impossible to enter the system space again. Immediately, the system responded with a cold voice. Okay, we won't extract it for now. Upon hearing the system's words, Zhao Xuan nodded in satisfaction and chose to temporarily store the 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards in the system space. When you need it, summon it again. Chapter 4. Casting the Heavenly Court. The Road of Yunchao. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The Imperial Palace. Zhao Xuan, with an excited face, got up from the bed and went to the table. He picked up a teapot and poured a cup of tea. These 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards will be his foundation for settling down in this world. With these 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards, even if he is not the emperor, he can still carve out his own territory, dominate the world, and be at ease. However, my own system is called the Heavenly Emperor system. The Heavenly Emperor, the Emperor of all heavens, ruled over all the realms of heaven and earth, clearly related to the emperor. Besides, the Taishan sect, Dantai Bingyun, is so deceiving in plotting to harm him. How can this matter be settled? How can this grudge not be avenged? To say the least, Zhao Xuan has no choice but to be the emperor. Taishan sect, Dantai Bingyun cannot let go of this puppet. So, there must be an end between him and the Taishan sect. However, this matter cannot be impulsive, it needs to be decided after careful consideration. At this moment, suddenly. Ding dong, task release. Only me only, task description. There are no 2 days, no 2 monarchs in a country. In a dynasty, how can 2 saints be present? Please remove the chaos and clean up the court. Task rewards. 1. Casting the Heavenly Court. 2. Recruit strong players. Once the cold sound of the system rang out, and at the same time, a virtual panel appeared in front of me. In an instant, Zhao Xuan showed a joyful expression. His face lit up with joy, naturally due to the rewards of the mission. Casting the Heavenly Court is a method of cultivation. Get rid of the limitations of heaven and earth, become the Heavenly Emperor, and obtain the Dharma of eternal life. The method of cultivation is also very simple. By the dynasty, gather your luck. According to the founding of the Heavenly Court, whether it is a person, a god, a demon, a ghost, a Buddha, or an immortal, as long as they are living beings, they will have good luck. The path of cultivation cannot be separated from the essence of Qi. If we compare the world to a great ocean of suffering, where people are in the sea, luck is like a ship. Only by transcending the sea of suffering and reaching the other shore can one live forever. People with abundant luck, that is to say, those who are said to have great fortune, are the sons of fate. They are on the path of cultivation, with a strong and sturdy boat, sailing smoothly and breaking through the waves. People with limited luck are inevitably subject to some ups and downs. These storms in the sea of suffering are the misfortunes on the path of cultivation. To forge the Heavenly Court, the first step is to create a country that is different from dynasties like the Great Qin Dynasty. It is a dynasty founded on the foundation of Qi, also known as the Yun Dynasty. Once the Yun Dynasty is established, as an emperor, he can borrow the energy of the people of the world for his own use and incorporate it into his body. It can also allow the people of the whole world to share the burden for themselves. The more people there are, the stronger they are, the more luck they have, and the more disasters they can share. The way of heaven is to make up for the deficiency when there is excess loss. The way of human beings is to make up for the deficiency when there is excess loss. Although I have reached the pinnacle of cultivation in heaven and humanity, I can control the pressure of the dragon's resentment in my body. However, as the phoenix bird continues to devour the golden dragon's qi, the amount of dragon's resentment will also increase, like a time bomb in my body. But forging the Heavenly Court can perfectly solve this problem. As long as I take the Qin Dynasty as the foundation and forge it into the Yun Dynasty, the entire fortune of the world will belong to me and be under my control. Dantai Bingyun, as the Empress, her luck as a phoenix bird has only come in vain, making me a wedding dress. Zhao Xuan's face showed a smile and his eyes were very excited. As long as you obtain the method of casting the Heavenly Court, you can perfectly solve the problem of phoenix swallowing the dragon. It can also be a tooth for a tooth, devouring the opponent's luck and causing them to lose their wives and soldiers. And forging the Heavenly Court, Yunchao has pointed out the path he will take in the future. Conquer thousands of tribes, collect the fortune of the world, forge the supreme Heavenly Court, appoint the heavens as emperors, enfeoff the gods and immortals, govern the three realms, and attain eternal life. In addition to casting the Heavenly Court, there is also an opportunity to recruit strong players as a reward. For Zhao Xuan, who has just drawn 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards, this reward goes without saying and makes him look forward to it. If Zhao Xuan were to draw another 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards, he could even directly kill the Taishan sect. If you want to complete the task, the simplest and most direct way is to send 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards to directly kill Dantai Ice Cloud and clean the court officials. But in this way, it will definitely cause chaos in the court and lead to a big fight from the Taishan sect. Zhao Xuan pondered in his heart. However, this is just a thought. After all, this is not just playing games, playing house. Moreover, although this completed the task, there would be potential risks that would have a significant impact on the Qin dynasty. Now he still wants to cast the Qin dynasty into a Yun dynasty. If the wind and rain of the dynasty sway and the national fortune declines, it will be very troublesome if we are not satisfied with forging the dynasty. Zhao Xuan drank all the tea in his hand and looked out the window at the night sky. The national fortune on the imperial city of Daqian is the golden dragon of luck. The phoenix sparrow kept pecking at the dragon of Qi, devouring the dragon's energy recklessly. Zhao Xuan was calculating in his heart when, at such a speed, the dragon of Qi and the Qian would be devoured by the phoenix bird. After watching for a long time, Zhao Xuan came to a conclusion. Half a year. In about half a year, the Qi Luck Phoenix bird will devour the Qi Luck Golden Dragon completely. At that time, even if he doesn't die under the resentment of the dragon, the Taishan sect won't keep him. So, there isn't much time left for him, the earlier it's resolved, the better. I am Emperor de Qian, the ruler of a country. I cannot limit my thoughts and thinking of fighting against the Taishan sect. If I personally go to fight against the Taishan sect with 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards, it will be losing my biggest advantage and falling into the lower class. The way of emperors lies in checks and balances. Nowadays, in the court, the Taishan sect is dominant, while other aristocratic families and sects are certainly not convinced. Although I don't have any followers or influence, I am the emperor of the Great Qin Dynasty, the master of this dynasty, and I myself am the greatest force. If the Taishan sect can develop to this point in a short period of time and control 60% of the officials' positions, it is using me as a puppet and leveraging my power. Dantai Bingyun, in the name of the Empress, with the dual saints facing the court, devouring the national fortune, is also using my name. So, as long as I regain this right, the power of the entire De Qian dynasty will be my pawn, for my own use. If I want to regain my power, it's also very simple. It's to break the shackles of the Taishan sect and let my voice communicate to the world. Let other civil and military ministers, sects and aristocratic families stand up. Abolish Dantai Bingyun, clear the court, and take action against the Taishan sect. This is my way to break the shackles of the Taishan sect and speak out to the world. Once I speak up, I will break the shackles of the Taishan sect, and other ministers and aristocratic families of the Manchu dynasty will definitely stand up and stand on the same front as me. Zhao Xuan's gaze was deep and cold, analyzing his own situation. At first, he was confused and didn't know how to resist. He allowed the Taishan sect and Dantai Bingyun to do whatever they wanted, going against their will. But now, it's different. Not only do I awaken my memory and activate my system, but I also have 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards. Chapter 5. The Art of Emperors, Stealing Memoirs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The night is vast. Zhao Xuan stood with his hands down, looking at the night sky. 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards can compete with the Taishan sect. So, even if I move someone from the Taishan sect or the Dantai Ice Cloud, the Taishan sect won't be able to do anything about me afterwards. They dare not tear their face off me and engage in a big fight. Once the net is broken, they will end up in a win-win situation. At that time, the group of dragons failed to seize the throne and were suppressed by the Taishan sect. The dormant aristocratic families and sects would be eager to take advantage of the situation and rise up. Zhao Xuan returned to his seat, poured himself a cup of tea, took a sip, and already had thoughts in his heart. As an emperor, personally stepping down and participating in the conflicts between the court is not wise for the emperor. Because for the emperor, there is no right or wrong in the culture and martial arts of the Manchu dynasty, as well as in the aristocratic family. Only usable and unusable, loyal and disloyal. Let the unusable limit the usable. Let the loyal monitor the disloyal. How many of these civil and military officials in the De Qian dynasty were truly loyal to him? It's just because of the resources of cultivation and the luck of the dynasty. Now, Zhao Xuan is using both strength and means to balance the situation. After Zhao Xianzhu ascended to the throne, he completely controlled the fortunes of a country. At that time, Qi luck will be the bone in his hand. He just needs to throw out a bone and watch as the Duke of Manchaogong, the aristocratic families, and the sects compete with the Taishan sect, causing his head to break and blood to flow. Finally, according to his ideas, decide right or wrong and allocate this bone. Zhao Xuan stood with his hands down, his eyes deep, his thoughts gradually clear, and he also had a plan. De Qian Zhao Chao, once every 2 weeks. And tomorrow, it happens to be half a month in the morning. This is an opportunity. Zhao Xuan plans to directly seize the momentum of thunder, abolish Dantai Bingyun, and clean up the court tomorrow morning. I declare that I am the Emperor of Great Qin, not a puppet of the Tai Xian sect, and I am a civil and military official of the Manchu dynasty. He doesn't want to procrastinate and wait, as the saying goes, delay leads to change. And now, he has an advantage. That is the performance over the past year, which made both the Taishan sect and Dantai Bingyun know that Zhao Xuan was really foolish and completely ignored him. So, he should take advantage of this advantage and not take action. Once he does, he will seize the thunderous momentum and catch the Taishan sect and Dantai Bingyun off guard. If one procrastinates and is detected by the Taishan sect to awaken their memories, or if they behave improperly and are wary of them, it will be difficult to have a chance. It will appear very passive. As for afterwards, the Taishan church will not jump over the wall and directly attack him with assassins. Zhao Xuan also considered it. It is impossible for the Taishan sect to have a close relationship with him. Moreover, due to the phoenix swallowing the dragon, the Taishan sect will not use assassins against him for the time being. The empress is attached to the emperor. Once he dies, the national fortune will be greatly damaged, and the phoenix bird's luck will inevitably collapse, resulting in a failure of success. Moreover, once he dies, the Taishan sect will lose his puppet and the title of blackmailing the emperor to command the feudal lords. At that time, the power of the world's aristocratic families and sects will surely be in chaos. So, the Taishan sect cannot take action against him, at most imprisoning him. If we really want to kill him, it will be after the phoenix swallows the dragon. Even during this period, the Taishan sect took the initiative to help Zhao Xuan stabilize the Great Qin. Just now, Zhao Xuan looked at the air and observed that the phoenix swallowing the dragon could be completed in at most 6 months. In this fantasy world, half a year is just a blink of an eye for a cultivator. So, the Taishan sect is definitely willing to endure and wait. As for imprisonment, Zhao Xuan is not so easy to bully. His confidence is only that of 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards. Moreover, as long as the task is completed, he can participate in another lottery and his strength will also be further enhanced. If we take action against the Taishan sect tomorrow, it would be best to have a reason. Zhao Xuan turned around and sat down, tapping his fingertips on the table carved with purple golden divine wood. The Taishan sect is now dominating the Great Qin Dynasty, and its disciples are arrogant and domineering, doing whatever they want. Some people will definitely impeach them. I can use the disciples of the Taishan sect to wield swords and establish my authority in this regard. Zhao Xuan's heart moved and he was ready to go to the imperial study to review the memorial. But he suddenly realized that he was a puppet emperor. Except for the days when he first ascended the throne, the memorials will be sent to the imperial study. When Dantai Bingyun arrives, all the memorials will be sent to Fengqi Palace for review by Dantai Bingyun. That is to say, he is going to the imperial study now, and there is nothing inside. If you want to see the memorial, you have to go to Fengqi Palace. But if I go to Fengqi Palace to read the memorial, I might be stopped by the guards. With 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards around, no one can stop him, but in this way, he will also expose his advantage of hiding in the dark. His plan was to kill Dantai Bingyun on the Hall of Tomorrow's court with a lightning speed that caught the Taishan sect off guard. So, we cannot expose ourselves to Dantai Bingyun for this small matter now. Thinking of this, Zhao Xuan let out a faint cry in his heart. Qing Long. In an instant, a majestic man wearing an official hat, wearing a golden python suit and a flying fish suit, with embroidered spring knives on his waist, and a cold and stern face appeared in front of Zhao Xuan. Qing Long, see your majesty. The man bowed respectfully to Zhao Xuan and knelt down to pay his respects. This is the commander of the 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guard, with the official title of Qing Long, and his strength is at the peak of the great energy realm. You infiltrate the Phoenix Pond Palace and give me all the memorials. Be careful not to let anyone notice. Zhao Xuan remained expressionless and said indifferently. When he said these words, Zhao Xian's deep hatred surged in his heart. As the majestic emperor, I can't even read the memorial directly and have someone secretly steal it. What a shame this is. What a sorrow. I'll obey you, my subordinate. Upon hearing this, Qinglong immediately said and disappeared into the room. Zhao Xuan is not worried about letting Qinglong steal the memorial. The Jinyi Immortal Guard is the personal army of the emperor, with the main function of commanding and driving guards, patrolling and arresting. It is engaged in reconnaissance, arrest, interrogation and other activities, as well as participating in collecting military information and plotting against enemy generals. Allowing the commander of the royal guards with great power to steal memorials is simply overusing their talents. Chapter 6. Internal and External Troubles, Go to the Morning Court. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. In the dormitory. When Zhao Xuan finished his 7th cup of tea, a figure appeared. It was Qinglong who went to Fengqi Palace to steal the memorial. Your Majesty, I have brought all the memorials from the imperial study for your reference. Qinglong held a pile of memorials in both hands and spoke out loudly. Fortunately, it's hard. Let's leave it here. You stay outside and keep an eye out. If anyone comes, notify me. Zhao Xuan nodded lightly, very cautious. I obey your orders. Qinglong arched his hand, his body hidden in the void and disappearing. Zhao Xuan picked up a memorial and began to examine it. However, as soon as he saw the above content, Zhao Xuan immediately stood up and patted the table with one hand. It is written on the memorial. King Dan faced King Tianqing and led a 1,000,000-strong army northward, while the defending army in the northern border of Daqian was only 100,000, making it precarious. The 7 major dynasties of Zhongzhou include the Great Zhou, Great Xia, Great Yin, Great Qi, Great Jin, Great Yan, and Great Qian. Dan intersected with the Daqian border, and its strength was the weakest among the 7 major dynasties. However, during the reign of the Great Qin Dynasty, Emperor Qian first fell, followed by a group of dragons taking over the throne, and the Tai Xian sect held the emperor hostage to order the feudal lords. In just 3 years, the national strength has significantly declined, and now there are internal and external troubles, making it extremely weak. So now, the Dayan dynasty has sent the Heavenly King to take over the northern border of the Great Qin. Anger. 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 Zhao Xian's heart was filled with anger and he flew into a rage. He knew about the internal and external troubles of the Great Qin Dynasty today. But I didn't expect the external problem to be so serious. Just now, all he was thinking about was how to solve the internal troubles of the dynasty, such as Feng Ke swallowing the dragon, Tai Xian sect, and aristocratic sections. And now, this memorial tells him how serious De Qian's external troubles are. I have been bullied by the Dayan dynasty. If Dayan were to occupy the northern border, the border defense would be torn apart, and the entire Daqian would be in turmoil. When the other major dynasties saw this scene, they could not sit still and would definitely want to come up and share a share of the pie. When several major dynasties faced the city, Zhao Xuan did not believe it. The civil and military ministers of Daqian, as well as the aristocratic families and sects, would be loyal to Daqian and sacrifice their lives for him. They join other dynasties and still belong to aristocratic families. They can still enter the court as officials and enjoy their luck. And in the Xuanjiao sect, Dantai Bingyun used the method of swallowing dragons with phoenix sparrows, which was enough to swallow the dragon energy of the Great Qin kingdom during these times. At that time, everyone will have a harvest, and he. What about this Great Qin emperor? If we really reach this situation, even if 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards are just like praying mantis arms in a carriage, the Great Qin dynasty will surely fall, and he will be irreparable, with no turning point. Who? Zhao Xianxian took a few deep breaths, suppressed his anger, continued to sit down, picked up the memorial and flipped through the pages. These memorials deeply told Zhao Xuan that the people around Deqian were struggling. Today, this sect competed for a mine and engaged in a fierce battle, affecting innocent civilians. Tomorrow there will be cultivators practicing magic skills and harming the people. There are countless such incidents. There was once a suppression by the Great Qin Dynasty, but such incidents rarely occurred. Once it appears, the court will immediately handle it. Now, he is a puppet and the Tai Xian sect is in power. Many people below naturally listen to the tune but do not listen to the announcement, and they handle things. It seems that I was thinking too naively. Zhao Xian's face was indifferent, and his eyes were full of murderous intent. During the time he was trapped in the palace, there was no source of information for him, resulting in him having no clear understanding of the current situation of Deqian. Fortunately, it was discovered in a timely manner. With the continuous turmoil of the Deqian dynasty and the decline of national fortune, it is impossible to directly forge a prosperous dynasty, and these are the biggest hidden dangers. Zhao Xuan felt a sense of urgency in his heart. Time passes by bit by bit. After reading for a long time, Zhao Xuan frowned because he had not seen a memorial accusing Tai Xuanjiao. This made Zhao Xuan somewhat incredulous. The disciples of the Taishan sect are now arrogant and domineering, doing whatever they want without any restraint. Even he has heard of it. Surprisingly, there was no impeachment of the Taishan sect in the memorial. This is simply impossible. That's right. Nowadays, memorials are reviewed by Dantai Bingyun, so who would go to participate in the Taishan sect? Zhao Xuan shook his head, feeling a bit angry and dizzy as he looked at it. After browsing for a long time, suddenly, Qinglong appeared and told Zhao Xuan that someone had arrived. At this moment, Zhao Xuan realized that it was already dawn. He sat here, unconsciously reading the memorial all night. At this moment, there was only one thought in his heart. We must quickly cut through the chaos and quell this internal and external troubles. The Great Qin Dynasty is related to his path of governance and his future. So, the Great Qin Dynasty decided not to encounter any problems at all. Qinglong tidied up the memorials on the table. As soon as they disappeared, an old eunuch came to the room with a palace maid and saw Zhao Xuan sitting, emitting a piercing voice. Your Majesty, it's time to go to the morning court. This old eunuch is the Grand Administrator of the 6 palaces, Gao Jinzhong. The palace maid came forward to serve Zhao Xuan, changing into a dragon robe and wearing a dragon crown. Zhao Xuan's face remained expressionless as he glanced at the old eunuch. Good guy. The technique of the Emperor's hope for Qi can distinguish between loyalty and treachery, and distinguish between good and evil. As a result, the old eunuch's loyalty to Zhao Xuan was directly zero. Eunuchs rise up by attaching themselves to imperial power. And in front of him, the eunuch-in-chief of the palace showed no loyalty to the emperor, which was simply ridiculous. Zhao Xuan felt angry in his heart, but his expression remained calm and did not show any signs. He remembered that this Gao Jinzhong was also a person from Dantai Bingyun, who was promoted to the position of Grand Manager by Dantai Bingyun to serve Zhao Xuan. When Zhao Xuan was the 10th prince, all the eunuchs and maids who served him disappeared after he ascended to power. It can be said that apart from the 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards he just drew, there is not a single person he can trust around him. I'm really alone. Stepping out of the dormitory, a dragon carriage had already been set up outside, pulled by 9 black and yellow dragon horses. The ceremonial guards were leading the way, creating a majestic atmosphere. Although Zhao Xuan is a puppet emperor, these superficial things are not treated harshly by the Taishan sect and Dantai Bingyun. It's up to him to do whatever he wants. Your Majesty, please get in the car. Gao Jinzhong spoke up and helped Zhao Xuan onto the chariot, then set off towards the Fengtian Hall. Chapter 7. Since you have nothing to report, then I. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Fengtian Hall. Zhao Xuan walked in the hallway of the main hall and saw two tall dragon chairs on the hall, causing a sharp flame to burn in his pupils. Although this scene was incredibly familiar in his mind, seeing it with his own eyes still ignited a wave of anger in his heart. Two dragon chairs. Double saints in court. This is a trampling on the dignity of the emperor. Tramp on him. At this moment, both dragon chairs were empty, and the Empress Dantai Bingyun was not there. After stabilizing in the court, Dantai Bingyun doesn't always come. If she doesn't come, going to court is just a formality. However, in Zhao Xuan's plan, it does not affect whether Dantai Bingyun is present or not. Zhao Xuan walked slowly to the dragon chair with no expression on his face, sat on it, and placed his hands on the faucet on the armrest of the dragon chair. Gao Jinzhong sang loudly in front of the hall. Everyone has gone to court. Upon receiving the order, the Minister of Civil and Military Affairs followed both sides of the imperial road and entered one by one, dividing them into court ranks. Then he bowed to Zhao Xuan and said, "See your Majesty. Long live, long live." Zhao Xuan sat on the throne of a dragon chair, towering high, gazing down at the civil and military officials of the Manchu dynasty. Using the technique of observing the qi of the emperor, he examined how loyal these civil and military officials were to the emperor. The result is, the loyalty of the Manchu civil and military officials to him was basically zero. Only a few old officials, due to their loyalty to the Qian, showed loyalty to the emperor in their 30s and 50s. This loyalty is reluctantly on his side, but it can change at any time and is prone to rebellion and rebellion. Only when loyalty reaches 70 is standing firmly by his side. If it is even higher and loyalty reaches 90, then it is loyalty and willingness to die for him. Even though Zhao Xuan had already guessed such a result, when the bloody reality was presented in front of him, no matter who it was, he would still feel unhappy in his heart. If there is something to attend to, report it. If there is nothing to attend to, leave the court. Gao Jinzhong sang loudly. The civil and military ministers all looked like old gods present, with no one making a sound. Inside the Fengtian Hall, everything is quiet. Quiet and somewhat eerie. Zhao Xuan's expression was calm. Last night, he read a memorial all night and found that the Great Qin Dynasty was now corrupt and rotten to the bone. But no one reported it. It's simply ridiculous. Zhao Xuan understood that he was the only one sitting in the position of 95, and Dantai Bingyun did not come to court. And he is just a puppet. So no one submitted it. At this moment, an old minister moved. He took a step forward and arched his hand at Zhao Xuan, saying, "I hereby declare to your Majesty." After all, this is a court meeting. If left unchecked, it would not only harm Zhao Xuan but also the face of the Qian. So he came out, intending to say something casually and walk around. Anyway, no matter what you report to Zhao Xuan, it's useless. In the end, it is the final say of Dantai Bingyun. However, his words had just come out and he had not finished speaking yet. Gao Jinzhong, who was standing next to Zhao Xuan, interrupted him directly and said, "All right, since there's nothing wrong, let's retreat to court." In the previous court, the main focus was on Dantai Ice Cloud. Since Dantai Bingyun did not come, there is no need to continue this court meeting. So Gao Jinzhong announced the end directly. Upon hearing Gao Jinzhong's words, the minister who stood up stiffened, but he didn't say anything. He just shook his head slightly, took a breath, and silently retreated to his position. Others remained silent about this, with no one scolding Gao Jinzhong. Because Gao Jinzhong, the Grand Administrator of the 6 palaces, represents Dantai Bingyun. Now that Dantai Bingyun has not arrived, this court meeting has no meaning at all. Just as everyone was preparing to retreat, Zhao Xuan spoke up. "Since everyone has nothing to say, then I have something to say." Zhao Xuan's expression was calm, his tone was plain, and he spoke slowly. The sound fell, and everyone was slightly stunned. Many people couldn't help but look up and look at Zhao Xuan sitting in a high position with a surprised expression. It seems to be the first time I have met this great Qian emperor. Whether it was during the reign of the 10th prince or after ascending the throne, Zhao Xuan truly had no presence in the hearts of all the ministers. The impression of Zhao Xuan is that he is confused, foolish, without any independent opinions, and a puppet. But now, Zhao Xuan is speaking for the first time, saying that he has something to say. This is simply beyond everyone's expectations. There are also many people with interesting and humorous expressions on their faces. I want to see what Zhao Xuan has to say and what he can say, which is rare to say. After all, in their eyes, Zhao Xuan's confusion was just a fool. There were also several old ministers, including those who had just spoken out and wanted to start, who couldn't help but sigh. They all have a loyalty of 30.50, loyal to the Qian, believing that Zhao Xuan's sudden words were from Dantai Bingyun. Gao Jinzhong taught Zhao Xuan and asked him to speak for the Taishan sect. On the side, Gao Jinzhong was also somewhat surprised and looked curiously at Zhao Xuan. He didn't expect Zhao Xuan to suddenly speak up. On weekdays, Zhao Xuan has always been silent and reserved. He didn't mind saying anything more about it, just showing a funny look and quietly watching. He was also curious, and Zhao Xuan suddenly spoke up, wanting to say something. Zhao Xuan stood tall and collected the expressions of everyone in the field in his eyes. In the past, the memorials were sent to Fengqi Palace, but it was illegal. From now on, all the memorials will be sent to the imperial study and personally reviewed by me. The harem is not allowed to engage in politics, let's remove this chair too. Zhao Xuan spoke calmly. As the words fell, the entire Fengtian hall looked at Zhao Xuan with some surprise. Send the memorial to the imperial study. No politics allowed in the harem. Remove the dragon chair of Dantai Bingyun. Upon hearing these words, everyone thought that Zhao Xuan had lost his mind and gone crazy, talking nonsense. But as they looked at the calm Zhao Xuan, they felt a little uneasy and began to speculate on the underlying meaning of Zhao Xuan's words. This great Qian emperor, this is to seize power from Dantai Bingyun. Still. This speech is from Dantai Bingyun, which was sent by the Taishan sect to Zhao Xuan to test their loyalty and see how many people still support the Qian. On the side, Gao Jinzhong looked into Zhao Xuan's eyes and made an undisguised mockery. He didn't expect what Zhao Xuan was going to say. Surprisingly, it is to deprive Dantai Bingyun of his rights. Others are not clear, but he is very clear. No one taught Zhao Xuan how to say that. So, Zhao Xuan is not foolish. Seeing that Dantai Bingyun is not here, he wants to take this opportunity to seize power. Regarding Zhao Xuan's behavior, Gao Jinzhong sneered in his heart, feeling that Zhao Xuan was too naive. Half of the people standing below now are from the Taishan sect. The emperor's words of gold and jade are nothing more than a joke in front of him. However, Gao Jinzhong did not speak out to reprimand. Because in his opinion, this is an opportunity. Coincidentally, with the help of this useless emperor's words, let's see how many other half of the Manchu officials are still loyal to the Qian and dare to stand up against their Taishan sect. Chapter 8. Evil slaves bullying the Lord, come out of the Jinyi Immortal Guard. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Inside the Fengtian Hall. After Zhao Xuan finished speaking, he remained silent and watched quietly. And the courtiers standing in the hall remained silent. This makes the atmosphere inside the hall a bit eerie. Gao Jinzhong, who was standing by, felt a bit bored. He thought there were a few people below who could stand up and support Zhao Xuan. Unexpectedly, no one spoke up. Immediately, he said to the civil and military officials of the Manchu dynasty, "Your Majesty has not rested well, and your speech is a bit confused. Don't worry, everyone." Then he looked at Zhao Xiandao and said, "Your Majesty, I have sent you back to rest." Speaking, he pretended to help and planned to take Zhao Xuan away directly. Then prepare to report Zhao Xian's words today to the Empress. Zhao Xian's eyes were cold, and his expression became cold. Eunuchs are just a dog attached to the emperor. And Gao Jinzhong, this dog, not only defected to the Xuanjiao sect and Dantai Bingyun, but also dared to speak to him like that. Evil slaves bully their masters. It's time to kill. What does your majesty mean by this expression? Are you tired? I will send you back to rest. Gao Jinzhong saw the coldness in Zhao Xian's eyes and didn't care at all. Instead, a sarcastic smile appeared on his face. Zhao Xian's expression was indifferent. Last night, he flipped through the memorial and couldn't find the reason for establishing power with the Tai Xian sect. Therefore, he planned to have the Minister of Civil and Military Affairs of the Manchu dynasty stand in line to kill a group of people from the Tai Xian sect, warn the monkeys, clean up the court, and break through this stagnant pool. But the situation ahead of him was somewhat unexpected. I spoke up and wanted to regain my rights, but no one spoke up and agreed. I agree. It's ridiculous. The leader of a grand country speaks, but no one in the civil and military affairs of the Manchu dynasty speaks out. Let Zhao Xian have a murderous intent, wishing that the royal guards could directly kill all of these people. However, upon reflection, this is clearly impossible. Once killed, the entire Dakian will be left unattended. Although there are many talented people in the world who want to stand out, some people want to become officials. But ultimately, no matter what you do, there is a difference between being a novice and a proficient. Even the most talented person needs a transitional period to take office and transform their talents into tangible execution abilities. The Great Qin Dynasty had a vast territory, and once a large number of important officials were replaced, it would inevitably lead to various difficulties in operation, disasters, and difficult transitions. Since they are all silent, then those who support me should stand on the left, while those who do not support me should stand on the right. Zhao Xian continued, his voice indifferent, with a murderous intent. At this moment, his aura suddenly changed, revealing a terrifying aura. Its words seemed to be spreading Tianwei. Let everyone feel a shock in their hearts. Looking at Zhao Xian sitting in a high position, his appearance was still the same as before, but from top to bottom, it was as if he had been replaced by another person, extremely unfamiliar. From an ordinary person to a towering emperor. A towering and domineering aura permeated throughout the body, exuding a sense of superiority over others. It seems that anyone must submit in front of His Majesty. This made everyone feel incredulous, as if they had met this great Qian emperor for the first time. Just as Gao Jinzhong was about to assist Zhao Xian, he couldn't help but feel a shock in his heart. He felt his heart skip a beat, and his imposing presence was too terrifying. Even in the late emperor or on Dantai Bingyun, he had never experienced it. This is the effect of the emperor's authority. The effect is indeed good. After feeling the majesty of the emperor, the loyalty of these civil and military ministers has almost all slightly improved, to some extent. At the same time, Your Highness, someone moved and responded to Zhao Xian, making a choice. It's the old minister who just submitted the report. He strode to the left and arched his hand at Zhao Xian, saying, I'm sorry to bother you. The first person came out. Immediately, they took big steps out and began to stand in line. Most of those who choose to support Zhao Xian have a loyalty level of around 30.50. They are loyal to the Qian, but there are also reasons why they do not deal with the Tai Xian sect. Previously, everyone was unsure of Zhao Xian's attitude. But now, Zhao Xian is in the court, displaying immense power and authority, intending to directly attack the Tai Xian sect. Let everyone see that Zhao Xian's display of sharpness and desire to seize power was not a probe from the Tai Xian sect or Dantai Bingyun. So, naturally there are people to support. However, there are over 90 civil and military ministers in the Fengtian Hall. There are only over 10 people standing on the left who support Zhao Xian. On the right side, there were a total of 40 people who did not support Zhao Xuan. The remaining people stood still and chose to watch coldly. In their view, if Zhao Xuan is like this, it is not enough to get their support. Unexpectedly, there are still 17 people who choose to support this useless emperor. Gao Jinzhong looked at the people standing on the left who supported the proposal and remembered them in his heart. Support this powerless and useless emperor. It's like seeking your own death. The imperial harem prohibits political activities, it is an ancestral system. You don't understand this principle. What kind of officials are you still? Let's all retire and return home. Zhao Xuan looked at the 30.9 people standing on the right and spoke up. The voice was plain, but with an unquestionable tone. We have been appointed as officials by Emperor Daqian to enjoy the fortune of the country, which was determined by our relationship with Emperor Taizu. How could you easily dismiss us with just one word from your majesty? Suddenly, someone spoke out. This is an elder of the Taishan sect. The Taishan religion was the state religion of the Great Qin Dynasty. At the founding of the country, the founder of Taishan made a contract with the Great Qin Emperor. Among them, Emperor Daqian directly assigned some official positions in the court to the Taishan sect, allowing them to arrange their own affairs and let people come to Daqian to serve as officials, enjoying the resources and luck. In the face of these officials, the emperor usually does not interfere too much. Not bad. Not bad. If that's the case, Your Majesty, you may have violated your ancestral tradition. Your Majesty, please be cautious in your words and actions. Are you doing this to plunge the world into chaos and overthrow the landless world? Your Majesty is still young and needs to learn more. Since Your Majesty is tired, let's go back and rest early. Below the hall, he couldn't help but laugh and didn't show any concern for Zhao Xuan. Your Majesty, you are tired. It's time to go back and rest. At this moment, Gao Jinzhong also spoke out again to warn Zhao Xuan, with a cold tone in his voice and without any courtesy. Even if Zhao Xuan showed his authority, he would no longer be as foolish as before. But what about that? This is a world of the jungle, where strength is paramount. Seeing this situation, Zhao Xuan sneered coldly. Since that's the case, let me give you a ride. Jinyi Xianwei, come out. Chapter 9. Pull out the Meridian Gate and behead in public. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Jinyi Xianwei, come out. Zhao Xuan spoke with a cold and murderous voice. At this moment, the suppressed anger and killing intent in his heart were not concealed at all. The disloyal and disrespectful officials and thieves should be killed. However, upon hearing Zhao Xuan's words and facing his murderous intent, many people in the hall even laughed, showing mockery and ridicule in their eyes. Gao Jinzhong also smiled. Upon hearing these words, they naturally understood that the so-called Jinyi Immortal Guard was Zhao Xuan's reliance. The confidence to challenge and seize power in the court. But so what? Behind them is the Taishan sect. In the Qin Dynasty, who dares to oppose the Taishan sect? Even if some people support Zhao Xuan without knowing whether to live or die, they are just clowns jumping off a beam. Dare to jump in front of them and stomp to death with just one foot. Zhao Xuan's approach is simply naive. This is the idea in everyone's heart. However, their smiles had not yet restrained, and their faces suddenly stiffened. I don't know when, but inside the Fengtian Hall, many figures silently appeared. These figures are all dressed in flying fish costumes, with embroidered spring knives on their waists, imposing and full of a sense of solemnity, totaling 100 people. This is the Jinyi Immortal Guard summoned by Zhao Xuan from the system space. He did not summon all, but only 100. Because 100 people are enough. These 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards are all capable of cultivation and are invincible beings in the same realm, with terrifying strength. Everyone was surprised, and these royal guards appeared silently in the Fengtian Hall, making them unaware. This is very scary. Pull all these rebellious, disloyal and disrespectful officials and thieves out of the palace, and behead them in public. Zhao Xuan slapped his hand on the dragon chair, his voice cold and murderous. Today is the first step for him to break the shackles of the Tai Xian sect, forge imperial power, and speak out to the world. All of this needs to be forged with the blood of everyone in the Tai Xian sect. The words fell. The terrifying aura, like the eruption of an ancient volcano, erupted from the bodies of 100 Jinyi Immortal Guards, filling every corner of the Fengtian Hall. Chang! 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 The embroidered spring knife is unsheathed, revealing a cold light and a murderous aura sweeping through the clouds, shocking the soul. 100 Jinyi Immortal Guards drew their swords in unison, their entire aura and energy seemed to merge into one. Billions of murderous chi spewed out, creating a new world and capable of killing all enemies in the world. This towering power makes everyone feel as if they have seen a sea of blood and corpses scattered everywhere, even the king in front of them would shiver with fear. The members of the Tai Xian sect were shivering all over and greatly shocked in their hearts. These royal guards emit a killing intent on each of them, making them feel a clear sense of oppression. The Ningjing. These 100 Jinyi Immortal Guards are all powerful. Moreover, they have reached their peak and can become kings at any time. How could this be possible? They originally thought that Zhao Xuan's confidence was just a matter of a few great powers, or that the king secretly supported Zhao Xuan. It can directly appear as one of the top 100 great talents and peak great talents. This is simply unbelievable. Everyone knows that Zhao Xuan is a useless prince, born foolish. If it weren't for the support of the Tai Xian sect, how could he have ascended to the throne and become emperor? Ascending to the throne as emperor and queen is just a puppet of the Tai Xian sect, a useless emperor. From a naturally foolish useless prince to a useless emperor, no one will care. They found it unbelievable and couldn't believe it. This is your Majesty's method. Just now, the 17 courtiers who stood in line to support Zhao Xuan were also shocked. They chose to support Zhao Xuan, never expecting him to have such strength. They support Zhao Xuan, nothing else, simply because of his attitude. Nowadays, the Great Qin Dynasty is under the control of the Taishan sect. As the subjects of the Great Qin, they are loyal to the Great Qin and do not deal with the Taishan sect. Since Zhao Xianchu showed his sharpness and wanted to seize power to confront the Taishan sect, they naturally came forward to support the imperial power. But now, Zhao Xuan has shown such a power. 100 great talents. It's so terrifying. So, this is Zhao Xuan's confidence. No wonder your Majesty dares to directly challenge and seize power in the court. This made them both surprised, happy, and somewhat worried. Surprise is naturally Zhao Xuan's expression. Worry is the Tai Xian religion. If Zhao Xuan kills all these people, it will definitely make the Taishan sect furious. 100 Jinyi Immortal Guards, 100 great abilities, very strong. But in front of the Taishan sect, it is still not enough to see. In the Taishan sect, there are not only hundreds of great powers, but also dozens of kings and several saints. So, at this time, the unparalleled power of the 100 great powers was really nothing in the eyes of the Taishan sect. At the same time, the civil and military ministers who had not stood in line just now had their eyes fixed and their expressions solemn. At this moment, many of them walked to the left and chose to support Zhao Xuan. Just now, Zhao Xianchu showed his sharpness and opposed the Taishan sect. In their eyes, he was just seeking death and picking on a clown. Just showing an attitude and authority is not enough, it's not enough to get their support. But now, with 100 Jinyi Immortal Guards and 100 powerful individuals in the great energy realm, this power is enough to make them stand up and choose to support. They didn't feel any shame about this kind of reckless behavior. The fantasy world is like this, where the weak prey on the strong. If we talk about loyalty, it's ridiculous. However, people are still watching. They are still waiting to see how this matter will come to an end. If everyone knows, this is only 1/30th of Zhao Xuan's power. There are a total of 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards. I'm afraid they will be scared to death directly. After all, this is a force that can directly compete with the Tai Xian sect. Zhao Xuan had a sneer on his face, exuding a sense of authority throughout his body. He stood alone and looked down on the world, overlooking everyone. Sure enough. In the fantasy world, if you want to hold the power of heaven, just in the name of an emperor is not enough. You must also have strength. At this moment, I will showcase the Jinyi Immortal Guard. Most of the people who chose neutrality just now choose to support him. As for the remaining people who have not yet stood in line, if it weren't for their usefulness, Zhao Xuan would have wanted to directly kill them all. Just as the Jinyi Immortal Guard was attacking the members of the Taishan sect. In Fengqi Palace, there is a cultivation hall. The four walls inside the hall are carved with dragons and phoenixes, and divine phoenixes suppress dragons. In the center is a jade bed, on which sits a magnificent woman. She wore a large red phoenix robe embroidered with golden threads, with a bright and beautiful cinnabar on her head and heart. Her skin was frosty and snowy, and her black hair was tied up into a beautiful woman's sideburns, adorned with phoenix wings and jade hairpins. Just with a chill all over, an indescribable coldness, like a timeless iceberg, noble and cold. This woman is the empress of the Qin Dynasty, the holy maiden of the Tai Xian sect, and Dantai Bingyun. Suddenly, a voice rang out and entered her ear. In an instant, Dantai Bingyun opened his eyes, and a dragon and a phoenix appeared deep in his pupils, as if looking down at all living creatures and ants. His aura was like a rainbow, and his eyebrows were all domineering, like a queen who ruled the world. Chapter 10. With one punch, the Dantai Ice Cloud descends. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Inside the Fengtian Hall, Qi permeates. 100 Jinyi Immortal Guards gathered around the members of the Taishan sect, fighting together with their swords full of energy and thunder, causing cracks to appear in the void. If it weren't for the Fengtian Palace being poured with ancient Xianjin, it would probably have turned into powder directly under this momentum. Faced with this force, the members of the Tai Xian sect couldn't resist it at all, like a small boat swaying in wind and rain, ready to fall at any moment. These people, who can enter the court as officials and participate in court meetings, naturally have strong abilities, and even the worst of them have the realm of heaven and humanity. Most of them have cultivation strength in the realm of great abilities. There are even 2 royal realms. But the Jinyi Immortal Guard they encountered. Invincible existence in the realm of great power. Moreover, the Jinyi Immortal Guard is proficient in the joint attack formation, and they all take action together. Their power and momentum are integrated, and their strength is not as simple as 1 + 1, but multiplied. That's also why, when Zhao Xuan obtained 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards, he had confidence that even the sage and ancient sage would bleed. Dare, Zhao Xuan, you dare to attack us. You are just a puppet of our Tai Xian sect. Be a puppet honestly, and there is still a way to survive. Once you take action, you will die without a place to bury yourself. If you move us, it will be your death. Gao Jinzhong, hurry up and take down this useless emperor. The members of the Taishan sect struggled to support themselves and shouted loudly, hoping to use the Taishan sect to scare off Zhao Xuan. Some people also asked Gao Jinzhong to take action against Zhao Xuan. To capture a thief, first capture the king. As long as Zhao Xuan is taken, these Jinyi Immortal Guards will naturally be captured without restraint. Your Majesty, you have gone too far. Do you know the consequences of angering the Xuanjiao sect? Gao Jinzhong regained his senses without hesitation, with a fierce expression on his face, and directly attacked Zhao Xuan to capture him. He has a cultivation level of great ability. Otherwise, one cannot become the Grand Administrator of the 6 palaces. However, before Gao Jinzhong could take action, a figure appeared and punched him. He is the commander of the Jinyi Immortal Guard, Qinglong. Boom. The fist is grand and powerful, carrying endless killing power. Under this punch, Gao Jinzhong's entire body was broken and his body fell horizontally outside the Fengtian Hall. Cultivation in the same realm of great ability. But Gao Jinzhong couldn't take a single punch in front of Qinglong. Because Qinglong cannot be measured by the strength of a powerful cultivator at all. The 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards are all invincible beings in the realm of great power, and Qinglong, the commander of the Jinyi Guard, is still the strongest among the 3,000 Jinyi Guards. This is the supreme youth in the novel, the unparalleled pride that can transcend boundaries. His realm cannot be measured by common sense in front of him. The following offenses, blaspheming your majesty, are disrespectful and should be punished. Qinglong's eyes were like knives, with a fierce intent to kill. The 3,000 Jinyi Immortal Guards are extremely loyal to Zhao Xuan. Daring to offend Zhao Xuan, desecrate Zhao Xuan, and disrespect him is considered a capital offense in their eyes, implicated in the 9 clans. At this moment, everyone in the Fengtian Hall was shocked and lost their composure. Surprisingly, there are still. How many such strong men are still hidden around Zhao Xuan? The cultivation of Gao Jinzhong in the realm of great power is so terrifying that he cannot even withstand a single punch from this person. Seeing this scene, not only the members of the Tai Xian sect, but also other civil and military ministers were dumbfounded. Zhao Xuan remained expressionless and didn't even blink his eyelids. When Gao Jinzhong, a lackey, first spoke disrespectfully towards him, Zhao Xuan had already sentenced him to death. Moreover, the other party has also joined the two mystical sect and is a person from Dantai Bingyun. It is almost certain that they will die. Zhao Xuan frowned slightly as he watched the 100 Jinyi Guards not take down the members of the Taishan sect in an instant. Humph. The green dragon on the side suddenly felt the emperor's will and snorted coldly towards the 100 Jinyi Guards, taking out the embroidered spring sword in his hand. Chang. The long sword falls like a sharp star river, and endless blood like shards burst out, cutting through everything. Kill 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 kill. This sword emits a chilling aura that intimidates the heavens, containing boundless killing intent, as if judging the world to bring down calamity. Boom boom boom. The members of the Tai Xian sect, who were already struggling to support themselves, suffered a complete breakdown in their defense under this blow. Poo 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 poo, a series of figures fell to the ground, spitting blood in their mouths. Those who were weak in cultivation fell into a coma. The Jinyi Immortal Guard immediately took action and captured these people, intending to drag them out of the palace and behead them in public. At the same time, wipe away the blood from the ground. Zhao Xuan asked them to pull everyone out of the hall and behead them in public, in order not to pollute the Fengtian Hall and eyes. At this moment, the members of the Tai Xian sect looked at Zhao Xuan, who was sitting tall and commanding on the dragon chair, and were frightened. The smell of death enveloped them, causing them to start completely panicking. Your Majesty. We were wrong, we were wrong. I'm going back to my hometown now, begging for mercy. Help, help. Your Majesty, I will work hard now and never take any further steps. Please spare my life. Your Majesty, I am willing to submit. Many people spoke up and begged Zhao Xuan for mercy. But Zhao Xuan's face remained expressionless and extremely indifferent. It's not that he's ruthless, he has already given it a chance. Whether it's standing in line or asking them to retire and leave directly. 2 opportunities, these people didn't cherish them well. And just now, in the eyes of these people looking at him, it wasn't like that, it was just ridicule and ridicule. As a courtier, he had no regard for the emperor in his eyes. There is no loyalty at all. If you don't have the strength, these people wouldn't give in to him. Your Majesty. No matter how much you hate us, if you kill us and vent your emotions, it will only provoke the anger of the Tai Xian sect in an instant. You can talk slowly about anything. Not bad, now that you have the ability to converse with our Tai Xian sect, you can sit down and have a good conversation. Two people shouted loudly, they were the two kings in the Tai Xian sect. They are all elders of the Tai Xian sect, who came to the Qin Dynasty to hold high positions and practice with their qi. At this moment, they are not domineering. After all, now that the knives are all around his neck, if he continues to shout and provoke Zhao Xuan, he is seeking death. So use words to stabilize Zhao Xuan. Zhao Xuan sneered and remained silent about this. He has killed these people. He wants to establish power with blood and forge imperial power. As for their words, in his eyes, they were simply ridiculous. Under the sky, there is no royal land, and no royal officials leading the land. The Taishan sect bullied and humiliated him, treating him as a puppet. Now let him not provoke too mystical and sit down to have a good conversation. It's simply ridiculous. Now there is a phoenix bird constantly devouring the Qi Luck golden dragon of Deqian. Is this enough for him to have a good conversation? Just then, suddenly, a terrifying wave appeared. A woman dressed in a large red phoenix robe, with a cold and noble temperament and unparalleled elegance, appeared in the Fengtian Hall, like a female emperor descending. P.S. New book upload, data can be described as terrible. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation.